So this is the follow-up for the angle test. We're going to measure angles and we're going to draw angles. So if I have a basic angle here and I need to know the size of it, this is just a random angle I just drew, I am going to take my protractor and I'm going to stop and think, okay, here's my center of my protractor where those little crosshairs, little lines meet up right there. That's the center. And then I've got to decide, am I going to use the inside zero right here, or am I going to use the outside zero when I line it up here? The center goes on the vertex of your angle, the corner of your angle, the center of your angle, center of this protractor. So if I put that there, it looks like it's probably going to be better to line up this zero and not that zero. Now if I tried to line it up this way, then I've got it on the correct zero, but this isn't pointing to anything, so that's not going to help me. The other line's got to be up inside of here pointing. So I'm going to line it up here, and I'm going to check it 2 or 3 times. See, it's not quite on there. Move it over a little bit, and then look at my line. It's a little bit off. I want it right up underneath that line for zero, so that it is a perfect, as close as I can get it, to the exact size of the angle. Alright, so I'm starting here at 0. I'm not worried about these numbers out here. I'm not worried about anything over here. I'm counting from this line till I hit my other line for my angle. 10, 20, 30. I did make it to 40. You have to be careful. Sometimes it's a little bit under and you didn't make it there. 40, and it's a little bit past. Well, it's a little short. So if I need to, I can make this line come out longer, this ray. Just extend it out. See, that's the same ray, it's just made a little longer. And now when I go back, I can line it up again and get it right on there. Check it 2 or 3 times. Center 0, center 0. And now it looks like here's 40, and then I follow that line straight out to the main little mark. It's about 2 places past. So that's a 42-degree angle. And I do want you to write it on there like that. If I had a bigger angle, let's say we had one, an obtuse one, something like this. Oh, it's not showing up good. Alright, so same idea. Pick which end you're going to line it up with. If I decide to line it up over here, center 0, then I'm using that 0, and I'll use the outside numbers. Or I could still try it this way and use the inside numbers, but we'll try it the other way just to practice both ways. Center and 0, get it right on the center, and then I'm checking this 0, it's on the outside. Now don't just go to the line. Follow your zeros and think, I'm on the outside coming around. It's bigger than 90 degrees. It's a big angle. 110, 120. It looks like it went a little past 140, but if you got 140, notice I'm putting a little mark right there so that I can remember where it was. Oh, it is out there. All right, I already got it. So that looks like it's 140. Actually, yeah, about 1 over, so 141. I'm going to give you a couple degrees either way. You don't have to make that little mark. That was for the other type, but that was how big that one was. So if you want to make one of your own, like a 60-degree angle, you're going to start with a basic ray, so straight edge, and put an arrow at one end. Doesn't matter which end, and I always like to put a dot on the other end so that I remember that's where I got to line it up. So if I'm going to do one that way, let's say we're making a 60-degree angle. We want it to be 60. We're going to line it up the same way we did before. And then this time I'm thinking, okay, I'm pointing over here. This is the outside scale. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm going to come around, and this is where we make that little mark. So we'll remember where 60 was. Only on the outside. Now there's a 60 over here, but I'm not looking over it in this 0. I lined it up with the outside numbers, and I'm coming around to 60. Now, that's way off. I don't have to go up there. I just need to line it up with the straight edge. Make sure you're on the vertex. Line it up, and then go that direction. You don't have to go way up there to it, and you can do. That's a 60-degree angle. Alright, if we want to try one the other direction, let's make one that's, let's say 120. Same thing, I'm just pointing it the other way. Remember that little dot, that'll help. And then line up the center, line up 0, and now this time I decided to use the inside 0. So I'm going to 120 degrees is my angle I want to make. On the inside, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 90, 120 is right there on the inside, because I use the inside zero, inside coming around to 120. You still come straight out and make your mark out here where you can get to it, okay, because you can't draw up and try the plastic. All right, so there's my mark. Go back to that vertex and line it up, okay, and see, think about it. Does that look like 120 degrees, more than 90? Yeah. Does that look like 60, less than 90 degrees? Yes. Okay, good luck.